Hello, my name is Donna Ernst, and I will be presenting my book review on Primal Leadership, Learning to Lead with Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. We all have emotional intelligence, and we all need to know how to use it. The author of the book is, there are three. Daniel Goleman is the major author. He's well renowned with speaking on behavioral sciences. He worked for 12 years in the New York Times, and during that time he received 2 nominations for the Pulitzer Prize on his writings. He's well known for emotional intelligence. He's currently a professor at Harvard University. He is also co-chair of a consortium for social and emotional leadership and workplace. The second author, Richard Boyatis, is also an expert on resonant leadership. He previously was president, CEO, and COO of major business ventures, and he has worked with Fortune 500 company leaders. Annie McGee is a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, and she is an expert on transformation of organizations. The purpose of the book is to explain what emotional intelligence is and how it affects employees and leaders. It can also determine outcomes of an organization. It can be learned and developed, and it affects employees, and it affects how employees view their organizations. The audience for this book could be any leader at any level of the organization who wishes to understand emotional components of leadership and how it will affect all employees in all aspects of the organization. The strengths of the book are many, but one point I'll bring out is it defined emotional intelligence. There are 4 key components: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship management. Each of them work together, and the final component, relationship management, deals with cultivating and maintaining relationships among your co-workers, your employee, and the organization. Another strength of the book is the connection to Renaissance leadership. This has been considered a leadership style, that the glue which holds the people together. This has to do a lot with transparency and empathy of the leader. Resonant leaders are in sync with their followers. These are leaders that have a high level of emotional intelligence, and they determine the ability to resonate in their organization. Another strength of the book was created by the second author, Richard Boyatis. It is 5 discoveries for self-directed model of learning. My ideal self, who do I want to be? Where am I going with my leadership? My real self, who am I now? What are my strengths and limits? My learning agenda, how can I improve? How will I experiment and practice to become a master? And finally, developing relationships. Who's going to help me and who's going to coach me to become increase my level of emotional intelligence. One weakness of the book is redundancy. A lot of the chapters were redundant. The titles, the names changed, but the information was the same. You can actually skip several of the chapters and get the whole gist of the book. Did the authors deliver on the emotional intelligence? It was defined. When you came away, you understood exactly what it was and how it affects employees and the organization. It also defined how leaders can increase their emotional intelligence and become better employees for the organization and have better outcomes. The significance of emotional intelligence affects the organization's goals, missions, and visions. Would I recommend the book? I would recommend the book for any leader who wants to learn about emotional intelligence and how they can improve their level and how it affects their leadership and employees in the organization. One thing I would say is that you can skip some of the chapters and still understand what the book is trying to say. Any questions? I'll open up for questions now, and I do have some handouts on the PowerPoint and an agenda to hand out to you. And I thank you for your time.